Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jody. My husband David John and I have a small farm in the panhandle of North Idaho. These are our stories and adventures. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And welcome to Moose Flats Farm. As you see, we are out in the greenhouse. I have, with David John's help last week, reclaimed the greenhouse from being a storage area to a greenhouse again, and I have all my tomatoes out here. I've spent this morning going through and kind of cleaning them up and tying them up, because as you see they are kind of tall and they're in the process of being watered. But I thought we could do or start an experiment. It's not going to be on the end of this video, but we'll give you something to look forward to. So, the crazy thing about tomatoes is, and I'll get a still picture hopefully and insert, but they've got all these hairs on their stalks that if they come into contact with ground, they will root. And another cool thing, if you have a spot to plant a tomato, but you can't plant it deep this way because the ground just gets hard, or you're in a shallower but long bucket, you can plant them this way and the top will naturally curve up to the light and you'll get your root growth along there. So I've got this one seed tray that's got a hole in it. So I was going to take this and plant this guy in it, and we can watch and see how the roots develop along the stem of the tomato. I thought it might be interesting to see, so let's get this guy planted up. And this is a Sweet 100, one of David John's favorites, so it will wind up being planted somewhere else eventually. But like I said, this tray has got a hole in it, so it will drain. And I'm just going to trim a couple of these lower leaves off just to keep them out of the way. So the root ball part I'm going to kind of just smash down into the soil and then just lay the stem right on top. Smash this guy down. And I know it looks aggressive, but tomatoes are very, very forgiving. And that's how we're going to start our experiment. We need to get him watered in, but we'll be coming and checking along the stem here for root growth. Gonna just place him up here. Whoa. in a sunny spot. And as you see, he's kind of just laying over kind of flat. Probably even by the end of today or tomorrow morning, this head, the top part of it, will start turning up because that's what they naturally do. So I have another thing that I'm going to start in here, and then we'll go out and, or no, I'll show you what all I do have going on in here. You guys are a little high. Going on in here besides the tomatoes, and then we'll go out and check out what I got new going on in the hoop house. So usually when I've planted this plant in the past, I've just gone to the grocery store and just picked up a root of a horseradish plant and started it that way. Had no problems doing that. But I was at David John's work, and I keep forgetting while I was at the grocery store to pick some up because I want to have it growing along the front of the greenhouse. Just because it's just such a cool looking plant. I picked up 4 horseradish rhizomes, way more than we need, but it's such a cool plant that I'm like, I might as well just plant the 4. So gonna go through and get these little rhizomes planted. Actually, they're not rhizomes, they're just rootstock. So yeah, quite literally, just a couple little sticks. So I'm gonna get these gallon pots because I haven't been able to get the bed prepped for the asparagus to move, and the asparagus right now is where I want to plant the horseradish, but I figured I can get it in these pots and at least get it started. Okay, so it says to plant it about 1 inch deep. So I'm just going to lay them on here, and then I'll cover them with the soil. Kind of just nest them down a little bit. And I forgot my labels in the seed shed, so we'll have to go grab those. Okay, let's get these guys watered in and then into a tray. Okay, so Let me go kind of over what we've got going on in here. I've kind of sorted everything by type, so it's like I've got my early girls here, and then more early girls up there, some Amish paste, baby boomer, Cherokee purple, and then beefsteaks all along there. Kind of a mixed bag here. I've got the Garden Lender Monster, couple beefsteaks, yellow pears, couple more beefsteaks, yellow pears, some more early girls, and then the back some beefsteaks and Abe Lincoln's, my black creme, sweet 100s and red currants, Granny Cantrell's and Romas, Brandywine, and some more aromas there. But over here in this big mud tub, because one of the things I found last year with the baby ducks that wasn't that sad thing to learn, but even though these mud tubs are great for the adult birds, for baby ducks, the number one reason they perish is from drowning, because they haven't gotten their feathers or the oils on their feathers to help keep them afloat. And like all little children, they love water and they just stay in it too long, and then they get chilled and they're soaked and they can't get out. So didn't have any issues after I got the pond put in last year with losing baby ducks. So the mud tubs are no longer for the birds, they're for me to plant in. So in this one in the greenhouse, I have the DeGrace peas, snap peas, and then in these two blue pots, I have Little Marvel. And if you remember last year, I had an issue with pea weevil and lost all the seeds that I saved, and yeah, not going there again. And unfortunately, as I was there planting the horseradish, I saw a pea weevil beetle. So it kind of shoots my thoughts that being in here, they'd be safe for them. So probably going to be putting some diatomaceous earth or something down to keep them out of my peas. But let's go. Sorry, you're right in the sunshine. Take a look at the hoop house and my poor asparagus plants. The other day, this gate, I came in and didn't get it latched all the way, and the chickens got in here and scratched everything up. But as you see, I still have asparagus coming up, so even with the chicken help, but in here we're lush and full of life. The radishes, like the French breakfast right there, starting to get big enough, and the broccoli or the cauliflower in the back is starting to take off. But I did plant 2 more mud tubs of peas in here, and all 4 tubs have the 4 different types of snap peas that I have. But yeah, everything is really starting to look green and lovely. And I did back here where the rosemary was, pull out the 4 or 5 that just were really sickly looking and weren't going to survive. But the celery is really starting to take off. Don't have a huge amount of it, but at least we'll have a few to try. And I was able to get clear vinyl for the baby chick brooder and got that. Whoa. Watch out, big boy. And got that put on. So as you see, it's completely clear. Down here at this 2-foot part, it is clear vinyl, but it's reinforced vinyl. It's a little more opaque than I really wanted, but I like the fact that it's reinforced and a lot more heavy duty. So let's go take a peek at these guys. Got a little guy right there. But they're starting to get really big. And they still have the hover brooder turned on. During the day, I've been turning the heat light off. I'm gonna get it plugged into a timer just so it's on at night, just as a safety precaution. But they're 4 weeks old now. Oh, come here, Kai. And they're getting big. Let me see if I can get my camera between my legs, but this is baby Kai. Aren't those pretty wings? Oh. So hopefully both the turkeys will stay that modelly black and white, because I think it just looks really cool. But the Orloffs are really feathering out. Yeah. But unfortunately, as it goes for the one baby gosling last Sunday, I don't know what my ducks were doing, but it's like all of them seem to go broody and want to be in the same nest box that that baby duck or that baby gosling was in. And I came out the next day and he had unfortunately been trampled. And so from now on, when they do hatch out more goslings, I will be pulling the babies and putting them in the brooder. It's too hard to lose animals, especially when they're babies, and a little ounce of prevention could have totally prevented that. So we still got Valkyrie on her nest. And I did candle her eggs the other day. they're developing. They just weren't as far as long as I thought they would have been. But I've got whoever in that nest box, that one mama duck, and a chicken laying an egg. But they're kind of trying to do a nest back there. What you got going on in there, Mama? Nothing? No. But over here, I've got a black and white hen and a Russian Orloff. And there's chicken eggs and duck eggs underneath both of them. And I've tried to go somewhere where they're not going to be. And I have tried incubating duck eggs. That is really, really hard because you have to get the eggs wet at least, or damp at least twice a day. And if you forget, it affects the whole hatching thing. So the only maybe saving grace about that duck and chicken sitting on those two nests is they do flip-flop. So the eggs that the chicken's laying on right now, when she gets off to eat, the duck will take a bath and then go lay on those ones. So maybe we'll get some ducks from a chicken. But in the White House, I've got a white and black mama on her eggs. And I do have in these two nest boxes here by the White House a couple Muscovy hens and chicken hens that are laying in there. Gotta collect those chicken eggs. But nobody's gone broody into these boxes yet. But the one mama duck that picked the weirdest spot to go broody is right here in the middle of everything in what was their dusting bowl. But in the chicken coop itself, I don't think we can see anything from here. In the chicken coop itself, well, we've got that hen right there. There is one in the nest box itself. And then we have a turkey. I don't think the turkey's broody. I think she's just getting ready to lay her egg there. Because I've been collecting the chicken or the turkey eggs out of there. Nobody else laying. Oh, I do have in the doghouse. I got somebody laying in there. So maybe we'll get baby ducks this year. I know. You're laughing at me now, honey, because I always have baby ducks. So I'm going to get my stuff cleaned up here, and then I'll meet you guys down at the seed shed so I can show you the progress done in there. Don't need my hat on. In the seed shed, it looks completely different with all the tomatoes gone. Definitely a lot more space. Peppers are doing good. Just working on getting the basil up potted, and then I'm gonna go through and completely rearrange how this is kind of set out and kind of adjust the lights since I don't have the height of the peppers, and kind of spread the love of the lights on the germination table, because definitely the ones in the middle of the table are doing a lot better than the ones on the edges. And I've got to get my vines, and I've kind of come up with a plan on the vines. I've got some terracotta looking pots that I'm gonna plant them in with a tomato cage for them to vine up all over. Well guys, I kind of got squirreled, as they put it, or in my case butterflied. Told you I was gonna get the basil transplanted and do a little rearranging and show you, and obviously it's the next day. Change of clothes. Yeti, you're not supposed to be in here. But I did wind up going through and up potting some of my vines into a pot. Here, let me, a little easier if I show you. So I've up potted them into these terracotta colored pots. I'm using the tomato cages as something for them to tendril up on. I know they won't be able to go outside for a little bit, but, and I should have taken them outside in the sunshine today because it's absolutely gorgeous. But let me show you kind of what I did and then what I've been working on all day today. So over here on the germination table, I basically just left the squashes and melons in the middle, except for the one Big Max and the couple extra vines that I have here. But I've moved the ones that were on the end over here under these lights. So we just got all the peppers and then the basils that I just transplanted. Whoa, watch out for the tomato cage. The basils that I've just up potted. But my stevia looks amazing, and so does the echinacea. But let me take you outside and show you the cool thing I've spent all morning working on. And I'm sure the trees are going, it's about darn time. But I got our second orchard planted. So I spent all morning getting these guys planted. I've got my Alberta peach there. In the front I have the 2 cherries on each end and the plum, and in the back are my apple trees and the grapevines. I haven't gone through and pruned everything down yet, but got them in the ground finally. And the birds are happy for the grass goodies. Well guys, we're back in the brooder, and no, I take that back. I did have 4 more baby chicks hatch, and they're out here with the big guys. But I bought 2 more things, and these ones weren't really a necessity, but they were bought with a purpose in mind. These ones are just going to be grown up and then processed the end of October, November. But I got me 2 little African geese. And they're so cute. But these ones are going to just be raised up for meat, not for breeding purposes like the Chinese crested, and just depending on how many of those hatch out and if we sell any of them or not. Some of them may be processed as well. But let me get these guys in with everybody, get their beaks in a little bit of water, and see if I can find the 4 little ones. You guys have any clean water in here? You guys are messy. You're like, I know what water is. I just want to show you where the water is. What's that little dude? Well, here's 3 of them. I did get 3 little Orloffs to hatch out, and then another one, little black one. Come here, little guy. You're fast. And here's the little black one that hatched out. Where are you two going? But this poor little one, as you can see, has a crossed beak. And according to my, here you go, bud, hatchery book, I should cull it right now because it's not, according to that, not going to thrive and grow. It is thriving and growing. It's as big as everybody else, and it will just be culled this winter because it's a genetic issue that baby chick has, and so you don't want to use it if it's a male for breeding purposes or if it's a female for egg laying with the potential of breeding. So we'll be on the cull list this fall. One of the things about this farm is we do go through and cull some of the animals. But where are you guys going? Come here. The little goslings, Bella and Now, are investigating. So, got to get these 2 caught and put back in here, and as you hear the birds in the background, it is lunchtime for them. I just got home from work, so this is where I'm going to end today's video. I hope you have a good day and a good week, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now. Yes, you are so cute, but you got to stay in the brooder. Yes. Yes. And even though the heat light's off, the hover brooder is still on, so if the little tiny ones get cold, they can go under there.